This month, we're talking about playing with our yoga. And that could mean you're doing some creative yoga sequences, you're having just some laughter in your yoga, maybe you're doing some ha 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 yoga. But we can also bring in some other outside tools to help us find a little more play in our yoga practice. And you might start by just taking the everyday pencil as part of your practice prop, or some marbles. One of the things that we try to do in our yoga practice is to find balance. And so we can play with either of these tools to help us find more balance and some strength in our body. Let's get started just with the marbles. So take a couple of those marbles. You can start by bringing them into your hands and just rolling them around. That will give you a nice little massage on your hands. You can squeeze them in your hand and just notice that sensation as you're working with some acupressure points in the hands. You might lose one. You can even bring them and put them in between your fingers, almost like toe separators. And then just squeeze and release and squeeze and release a few times. So that's kind of fun. And then making sure you've got all your marbles before you stand up. You can take that any way that you'd like. And then let yourself come to standing. Finding a balanced spot for your marbles. You might just place your feet on your marbles and stand there on them. That will give you some very deep sensation in your feet. I'll do both feet. And I'd recommend only doing one foot at a time, just so that you don't really lose your balance. You can roll around with the marbles underneath your feet as well. Kind of just like tennis balls, but different. And then to work your balance and your dexterity, separate your marbles a little bit, if they will, and then use your toes and see if you can pick up and put down all of your marbles. So this is great work for the toes. You might take more than one marble. If you can get in there, you might work on, can your pinky toe and your fourth toe pick up your marble? And just moving them all over. I like those big marbles, they're easier to pick up. Last one, up and over. And then you can do the same thing with some pencils. So if you take a couple of pencils and you might place them all over the place. And for some people, pencils are a little bit harder to pick up, but you can work to find a way to get them in between your toes and lift up and put them over to the other side. You might even get them in between your toes if that works for you. We'll do the other side here. Remember to keep breathing while you do this. Keep your shoulders back. And you might find that one foot's easier than the other. I'm definitely having some trouble with this right foot. You might have to give yourself a little bit of help and a little lift there to help lift it up and then take it over. Anyway, those are just some fun things you can do with a pencil and with some marbles in your yoga practice. Thanks for playing.